Someone, Padia Hooligan, yes, has picked me up on the terminology. I was talking about the number of migrants who crossed the Channel on Christmas Day, 450, a huge number. Now, Padia says, Pedrago Hooligan says, they were asylum seekers and not migrants, as your headline banner states, and for the sake of clarity, none of them were illegals at that point. Well, the point is, unfortunately, that is entirely untrue. First of all, an asylum seeker is an asylum seeker once they claim asylum. So they're an asylum seeker when they reach our shores and specifically claim asylum. Up to that point, they are migrants. Is any one of them an illegal? Well, under international law, none of them is illegal. Under national law and under Suella Braverman's Nationality and Borders Act and Illegal Migration Act, all of them are illegal. And given the fact that Keir Starmer, who said that he was going to rescind, if not repeal, the Rwanda arrangement, has not repealed the Rwanda law, the Nationality and Borders law, or the illegal migration law. So under British law, anybody who comes to our anybody who comes across the English Channel by boat, by small boat, is acting illegally. And I think it's important to recognise the precise nomenclature. I don't believe these people are illegal because I subscribe as much as I can to an international understanding based on the 1951 Refugee Convention and the interpretation by British judges and barristers up to the point of Suella Braverman. But Suella Braverman changed the terminology. And until that terminology is rejected formally in Parliament, it remains on the statute book. And therefore, these people who are arriving on our shores are technically illegal. And I find it extraordinary. It's another example where this particular government says one thing and does another. And actually, for Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg accused Kemi Badenoch of using the language of the right, but actively doing things which are on the left. It's exactly the opposite for Keir Starmer. What we've got is two political parties who are not saying what they are doing, who are blurring the division, and who are playing to the media, who are saying one thing and doing another, and we have this again and again, particularly with these promises of money and compensation and restitution and so on, where the government says yes, this is now agreed, and six months, a year down the line, still nothing is in people's pockets. In any other context, this would be called reprehensible and deceit, cheating. And I think if Keir Starmer is not going to uphold the Rwanda proposals of Suella Braverman, then he ought to get on with repealing those laws. And if he doesn't, we're stuck in a legal quandary where we don't know what status these people have as they come across the Channel. And if we don't know, then we can't support them. The best approach to dealing with the migrants who are trying to come to our shores is to process them in France and to set up consular offices to begin the process of asylum in France, so that the Channel is no longer a necessity or even an option. That automatically stops that process of the trafficking and the smuggling business. The trafficking and the smuggling business will be further stopped by doing the same thing in North Africa and Turkey, but that requires the cooperation of the rest of Europe. In addition, if we are really concerned about the idea of making a distinction between an asylum seeker and an economic migrant, then this needs to be written into the 1951 Refugee Convention very clearly. So that Refugee Convention needs to be revised. And given the fact that Europe is bellyaching about the convention, and that, in effect, Trump is bellyaching about that convention with the Mexico border, I think if Keir Starmer really wanted to curry international favour, to convene a conference and to rework that convention would put him in the history books and do the world a favour. It's something that Rishi Sunak should and could have done in his limited time in office. He didn't. He will go down, along with Liz Truss, as somebody who had no positive effect on our country's history. And maybe he had less negative effect on our country's history than his predecessor, but it was wasted time. Keir Starmer has an opportunity here to enter the history books as somebody who can change international law and change the global trajectory, because the migrant crisis is something that threatens to get worse, not better. And we need the international law to underpin our response to that. And we need the infrastructure to ensure that we can help people and eradicate the smuggling and the trafficking gangs that are preying on the confusion. And that confusion is aptly and thankfully identified by Pedro Hooligan. I can't get this name right. I don't quite know what Pedro means. But thank you very much for all your support and your comments.